I'm joined by Sarah Harrison, MB, Chief Executive of the Gambling Commission. Sarah, in your speech you mentioned 3 points, the good, the bad and the ugly of the industry. Can you just tell me about that?
Yes, so the good essentially is the people. Both those who work in the industry who are incredibly passionate and very creative and very committed to what they do. My colleagues at the Gambling Commission who are brilliant, and indeed those who represent the interests of consumers who are really determined and tenacious about getting a very healthy gambling industry. The bad, really the thing I wanted to highlight was the experience that I've had in this role of really poor customer service, just not treating customers fairly, and I don't get it because commercially it makes no sense. It's much more effective to win a customer and keep them and treat them well than it is to have to compete to bring on new customers. It just makes more business sense to treat customers well. And the ugly, well, I think there are probably, the thing I really wanted to focus on was some of the practices that we've seen across this sector at the moment around the intense debate about the future of fixed betting terminals in the British market. And what you've seen is bits of the industry slugging it out with each other, and that's a massive missed opportunity. These leaders in industry have got a great opportunity to forge for the future and to forge a business that is sustainable and successful, and that's where their energy should be targeted.
You received an extraordinary round of applause midway through your speech around the subject of diversity. That's clearly a subject that is close to your heart. What does the industry need to do to tackle that?
It is close to my heart, and I'm very pleased that that applause was not just from women, but it was from men. I think everybody at this event will recognise that this is a very fast-moving, modern, exciting industry, and it needs to be much more reflective of the economy and the society of which it's a part. And that means it needs to look not just at gender diversity, it needs to curb the awful practices that we see here. It's not right that businesses are represented by men in smart suits, but the women are there in swimsuits. That just doesn't compute. So we want an end to that, and we want to move forward and have a much more diverse and balanced market that reflects the society and the economy that it serves.
Thank you. Just tell me, how many problem gamblers do we think there are in the UK, and can you give some indication of the cost to the UK, whether it be the NHS or otherwise?
So the current indices point to the fact that there are about 2.5 million people who are either problem gamblers or who are at risk of problem gambling. And the point is that that number isn't going down, and everybody concerned with this industry should want to act to protect those customers, and much more importantly, design in protections that mean that people don't get to that place at all in the first place. The overall cost to society and the economy in Britain is really unknown and difficult to compute. And again, our point is we want to see more investment in understanding those costs, because we have a big tax take from gambling, but we need to equally look at what the costs are from gambling to government and to the state.
And who should be the drivers for change? Should it be government, consumer, or the industry, or a bit of all three?
Well, it must be all three. And any industry that values what it does, that thinks about its staff, that thinks about its investors, will want to take this into their own hands. There's a massive scope for this industry and its leaders to now step up and to work with regulators, to work with government. But industry's got a lot of power and is able to do stuff itself right now on the ground today.
Finally then, how important do you think ICE is, this event here at Excel, to the industry?
So it's incredibly important, and that's why there are so many people here, that's why businesses come to exhibit. I think it's great that we're seeing for the first time a consumer protection zone, because I think what that recognises is that businesses that are interested in a sustainable future know they need to treat their customers well, know they need to invest in systems, in technology, but also in governance that's going to make sure this is a healthy market in the future.
Good luck. Thank you very much. Good luck in your new post.
Thank you.
Thank you.